So today I wanted to show you how to make this bracelet. So first off, we're going to start with the wire wrapped bar. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a piece of wire. I am using 20 gauge copper wire with a brass coating on top. So I measured out approximately 19 inches, or 19 centimeters, 19 centimeters. So I measured out about 18 to 19 centimeters of wire. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to put the wire inside your pliers, or whatever device you have. These I'm using my bead loopers. And you're going to want to put it inside there like this. And what I do is I make a little dent. You see that? So now I'm going to put that little dent right there on the very edge. And then you're going to push this side in like that. And then usually I take my pliers and I straighten that out. But now you're left with like an L 90-degree shape. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to take this and you're going to work on the very first loop. This one right here, step 1 of the loop maker. And you're going to put your pliers like so. And you're going to take the smaller side and wrap it around. You're just going to keep wrapping it until you get all the way around, like so. And then you should have like a loop. You can put a little more on there, but I like to make mine a little bit smaller with this part, the extra. Simply because we're going to be wrapping it again. The bar will come across here, you'll wrap it, and then you're wrapping back across. So you want to leave a little bit of room on this side in order to allow yourself to wrap the rest of the wire back. So now we're going to take this, and I usually take my little pliers like this, and I grab the loop with my needle nose pliers. And I grab the tail end and I wrap it around. Like so. And you just keep wrapping until you get a good end. Now you can get to about here, and a lot of times it's easier to just use your needle nose or your other pliers to just grab it like so. And you kind of just work it around the wire. So you can kind of see it's not exactly straight. So what will go in, we'll take the pliers and we push it up a little bit. Not too much, but just enough to put a little bit of pressure to push these up and create a more uniformed, like that. Okay, so now we're going to add our beads. And again, you're going to add all 5 beads. Today I'm going to use blue aventurine because I think it makes it pop a little bit better on the camera. So we're just going to add these beads. Okay, so now we have our beads on here. What we're going to do next is we're going to take our pliers. And I usually try to use the bigger end on my pliers. You see how one side is a little bit smaller than the other? I usually try to use the bigger end when I'm doing this part. So I put the end, the longer end, inside the wire, or the pliers. Line it up. And then you bend it. So you see how there's like a little gap right here? This is where you're going to be wrapping the wire. And if you need to straighten this up, feel free. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our pliers again, or loopers, as I like to call them. And you're going to use that very first step. Step 1, you're going to come in with these and line up the corner edge with step 1. Then you're going to take the longer wire and wrap it around until it's taut. So now you're going to have, I'm going to push it down a little bit. You can use your pliers or your fingers, whatever's easier. Now you have a loop on this end with a little bit of space for the wrapping, and then you have your other end. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pliers, put the loop inside the pliers to hold, and we're going to take our other pliers, and you can use your fingers, but I find it easier to guide the wire with these pliers. Well, usually without the camera in the way. So you see how I made a little bit of a boo-boo right here? It's not exactly up against the other one. What you're gonna do, if you get into this and you want to fix it beforehand, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pliers and just push and do that until it's taut. So what we're going to do, I needed to fix this spot. I accidentally put it too far down, so now there's a gap. So I'm gonna squeeze it together a little bit to make it more uniformed. Still not quite how I want it. So we're gonna keep squeezing. And then we're going to take it and push up. And I pushed up a little too far. That's why you want to make sure that you do it gently. Because if you push it too far, it will bend back. Okay, we're back. I went ahead and did a few more little twists just to finish out this end. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap it around these beads until we get to this end. I find it easier to use the pliers to hold it in place as I wrap it around the beads. I like to try to put them inside. When I do the wrapping, I try to get them inside each spacing of the beads, like so. So it kind of does wrap around and then on the side. So you go underneath and then you wrap around to the side, wrap around to the side, and then you have that much left. Now this is a little bit of a tricky part because you have to kind of make it situate itself underneath the two, under these two little loops. So what we're going to do is we're going to push, and we're just going to see if we can get it to go underneath And this is why I don't usually use the brass, but that's all I had. Usually I like to use the copper, just the plain copper, but I don't have a lot of that wire right now. But I wanted to show you how to do this first. But basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to push this underneath these two loops, like so. And you're going to try to wrap this side underneath here. So I'm going to do that off camera real quick. Okay, so now we have it wrapped around like so. And so we have this little bar for our bracelet. We'll set that off to the side. Next, we're going to work on making these little chain links, like so, for our bracelet. What we need for that is 8 pieces of wire, like so. And each one of these is approximately 8.5 centimeters. 8.5 centimeters. Yes, it looks like a lot, but when you wrap it around, it uses a lot more. So we have all of these to make links. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make one side a loop, and we're going to use step 1 again. Put our end right there and loop around. So now we have a loop, but it's not quite, it's bent. It's not quite straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back on step 1 of the looper and get it on. And we're going to grab it right at the end, just where we want to bend it. And we got a little bit of a better loop, like so. Now we're going to come in with these. I like the spacing on this, but you can use any type of spacing on any of your pliers, but this one just seems to have a good bar for the length that we're using. This is probably, let me see, about 1/2 inch in length. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the wire in between here, like so. Put the end right up against there. And it might tilt a little bit, that's okay, we'll fix it afterwards. Now you're going to bend it, adjust so it's straight. Push that in a little bit. So now we have a link, or the start of a link with the loop, and it's cut off to the bottom. Now we have the link started, like so. And again, we use the space of that to measure out how long we want the link to be. Next, we're going to go in with the looper, step 1 again, with this. Okay. Now you're going to take it, loop it around, and I usually try to loop it until it's pretty much wrapping around snugly. So now you have a loop on one end, first loop on that end, a long tail. So now we're going to take our pliers, we're going to hold them in place on that loop with the long tail, and then we're going to take our pliers and start wrapping. If you find it easier to use your fingers, feel free to do so. It's just after a while of wrapping, your fingers get tired. Okay, fix that a little bit. You can use your fingers. Especially if you want to start it, but a lot of times I have issues with it not wanting to sit right. So just use your pliers and kind of wiggle it down, push up a little bit, grab it with your pliers again. And again, if it gets a little messed up, that's okay. We're gonna just take our pliers and just fix it. Like so. And you see there's a little gap, like so. And you just keep going. I'm gonna finish this one off camera real quick. Okay, so I just finished wrapping. Now we are down to the last little nub. You can either wrap a little bit more to the end. Alright, take my fingers, kind of push a little bit. And you can either cut it right here. That's what I do a lot of times, or you can wrap it around. And just keep going until it fits snugly underneath there. And straighten it out. And so now we have this little link. Like so. So now we have two. We have 5 more to go. So I'll show you one more how to do the link, and then we'll come back after I finish these to learn how to set it up and assemble. So we're going to use the very first step on the loopers. We're going to grab the end and wrap, wrap, wrap until we get to the end. Again, it's not centered or straight, so we're going to put them back on the looper, and I just take it like so and just kind of bend it and then straighten it again. So then we have our loop. Straighten out the wire to make it a little bit easier to work with. Then we're going to take our pliers, and again, once again, we're going to set it up right in between, like so, and then bend, like so. So we have that. We take our looper again, step 1. Do it as such, wrap around. And we have it like that. So now we can take this and start wrapping. It might be easier to start with your fingers first to get it going. But I find the pliers to be easier once you get going. It keeps you looped up like such. And I feel like you kind of get in a groove, you get a little bit faster at it. It feels a little more uniformed. But again, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you like using your fingers and can, then do that. But we're just gonna keep wrapping, and then I get to the end, and then I use my fingers to kind of guide it. So now we got to the end right here. Push it a little bit to make it a little more uniformed again. And then you're going to take this and push until you get to the end. And there you go. 3 down, 4 more to go. 4 more to go. 5 more to go? 5 more to go. Sorry, I can't count. 3 down, 5 more to go. I'll meet you back after we get the rest of them done. Okay, so now that we've made all of our chains, we can add them to our crystal bar and add on our hook and end. So what I like to do is I like to start from the center. So I take the bar, and then I take 2 of these loops, find the one end that's open, bend it, add, bend down. Very simple, very easy, and still very secure. So again, you take one of these, find the open end, take your pliers, bend to the side to open it up, add to your bar, and there you go. You'll have to mess around with it a little bit to make sure that they're all secure. But it is a pretty strong bracelet. So you're going to add 3 more links to either side. Very easy to do. See which side. Make sure everything's pushed in together so it doesn't slip out. So now you see the start of it. I'm going to do the rest of it off camera. I'll come back to adding the hook and end to it. So give me 1 second. Okay, now that we're back, we've gotten all of our links onto the bracelet. Now we're going to take our jump rings, open them up, and we're going to add our ends to it. Just like so. Very easy to do. There's a couple of tutorials on how to make clasp. I will include them below. Oops. And there we go. I got the end on there. And there we have a bracelet. Now we can just clasp it on together. And it's extremely strong. Just wanted to thank you guys for following along. And I hope that this tutorial has helped you, and we'll see you next time.